Morning, so this is final town centre, it's 10 o'clock and I'm about to start the St Swithun's Way. I'm going to do it backwards because traditionally you do the pilgrimage route from Winchester to Farnham, but to be honest I'd rather finish in Winchester. So the first thing I found out actually getting here was how to find the St Swithun's Way. It's actually tricky. It's not the best marked long distance trail I've ever seen so far. There's not a big banner, there's not a big plaque saying welcome to the start or the finish of the St Swithun's Way. So I found it, and I'll show you where it is. And there's no big sign, there's this thing saying public footpath, and here a very small sign St Swithun's Way. And that's the way we need to go. Now we're going down the back of some houses in the centre of Farnham. After that one little sticker, I've not seen any other signs for St Swithun's Way. It's a kind of interesting, slightly wacky route we're doing. Going through a little college now. So far it's been mostly track, which has been okay. I mean it's quite pleasant, a bit firm obviously underfoot because it is track, but it's quite pretty, lots of daffodils. It's quite a long section on the road back there. I was kind of worried this was going to end up being a road jog, but this is quite a nice trail actually. So having moaned about the lack of signage so far on this St Swithun's Way, finally got a lovely big sign here, which I think is mainly for people doing it the correct way around. And I think that means there's 4 miles to go to Farnham. I don't think it means it's 53 kilometres to go to Farnham, but they're kind of mixing up their metrics. And we've got a nice seashell sign there. And we're going this way. I do like the seashells, it's kind of Camino, isn't it? Here we go, another one. So they obviously used them all up. They've got 3 signs in one place, and most of the time they've got no signs. This is quite a nice countryside now. Quite pretty. The running's not bad. Some of it's quite muddy. I mean, it's been quite wet the last few days, so I think normally it's probably okay. There's some sections like this which is really dry and it's really easy running. Some muddy stretches a bit further back. But generally this is a really nice trail actually. I mean, it's quiet. It's pretty flat. Some great views. So we're now in Alton. It's a bit bizarre, sort of coming off trails and you're ending up running straight through the town centre. So it's okay. I'm glad it's not all like this, but just a bit strange. Out of Alton now, thankfully. That was alright, it was a bit kind of urban. Now we're on a sort of an X road. I think it's been sort of cul-de-saced because of the A31 going past, so I think we're about to cross the A31. And this is where councils really have got their act together with long distance paths, because I suspect there's no bridge and we're going to have to play chicken, which is always a bit disappointing. Okay, Hampshire County Council, I take it all back because there is a beautiful underpass here, which I have to say the last time I crossed the A31 in a different place there wasn't, but this is great. Here we go. lovely out here. So I've kind of forgiven Alton for being not that gorgeous. So now going along this big wide track, which is really flat. A couple of bridges just behind us. I'm pretty sure this is old railway line. You know, it's just okay. It's easy running. The views are not quite as nice as they were on top, but the sort of pace overall is a bit slower than I was hoping for. So it's quite nice to have a bit of flat stuff to catch up on. So these are watercress beds. I don't know if I've ever seen watercress beds before, but there's loads of them. It says here 13 kilometres to go. I think it means I've done 41 kilometres. A bit tired actually. I could do with a nice cup of tea actually, but I haven't found anywhere to get a nice cup of tea from, so fingers crossed. I'm not sure what I think about swans. I'm not sure they're my favourite birds. There's a sign back there saying Deep Ford. Here is the Deep Ford. Luckily there's a footpath, footbridge. A foot of water. Yeah. So quite close to the A31 again. Just over to the left you can hear a bit of traffic noise. And apparently St Swithun's Way, the original course, is pretty much the course of the A31. And I guess that what happens when you have a popular medieval route, then somebody puts flagstones on it, somebody puts tarmac on it, and before you know it, it's turned into a dual carriageway. So we're trying to recreate the medieval path. It's not quite the same with the traffic noise, I have to say, but if you can ignore that, it's actually quite pretty. It's lovely spring weather, kind of helps. I do think that doing the route this way round is probably better than the other way round, than the traditional way. The bit towards Winchester is prettier than the bit towards Farnham. So here we got the lovely River Itchen. That noise you can hear is the M3. And happily we're going on an underpass. Heading towards Winchester and on the Camino Inglés to Santiago, which I don't know about. I need to find out about that. So just running through the outskirts of Winchester, just had my first view of the cathedral tower. It's pretty exciting. It's really not that clear where you go now. Sort of heading across a car park. Where's the tower gone? It was there somewhere. There it is, there's the tower. You know, I think the GPX tracks gives out before it gets to the cathedral, which is a bit odd, isn't it? But that's the tower, that's where we're going. Here we go. How cool is that? So that's quite a good route. I quite enjoyed that. I mean, it's not as sort of beautiful as some of these stuff around here, like the South Downs Way. You don't get those sort of massive panoramic views, but it's quite pretty. There's lots of pretty little villages you go through. The trails are mixed, probably about half and half in tarmac and on trail. It's a kind of fun route. But I would definitely do it this way around. I'd definitely do Farnham to Winchester. I think it would be a bit of an anticlimax if you started here and then actually finished off on Farnham High Street. So I'd definitely do it, definitely worth doing, but I'd do it backwards.